So, oh, hello.
Hello.
Hey, Mike, how's it going?
Doing well, how are you?
Yeah, very good. Done your workout already this morning?
Oh yes, yeah. This will be my
Oh
second
no, wait,
workout.
it's afternoon there now, isn't it? Yeah, I'm thinking it's first thing in the morning, but it's like what,
Three,
3 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the
3
afternoon?
o'clock.
Yeah, cool. All
Rather
right, who
cold
else
here
is
today.
joining? Pardon?
It's rather cold here today.
Oh yeah, yeah. We've been
Yeah.
having really mild weather actually. We've had one lot of snow so far this winter, just a bit, and but the rest of the time, like daytime's been 7, 8, 9 degrees sometimes. It's been really mild. Good evening, Dagmar. She can't hear me. She's obliviated. So who's ready for some small San Sau? Oh, Yuri's here too. Fran's already done her small San Sau class today, so she's one step ahead. She's got a prep pre-class happening. Oh, Anna's here, back in Amsterdam.
Back in.
Did you get that?
I've never been. I always wanted to see District Red, but I've never been in Amsterdam.
Yeah, I don't think I've been to Amsterdam loads of times, but I'm trying to remember. Maybe I went for a walk down the street of the red light district, but it was during the day, so there was nothing actually happening. Like I didn't go when it's the proper time to go or something. I assume I must have, like I've been there a number of times, so someone must have walked me down that street at some point.
Yeah, I had some stories, but I've never experienced anything like it. So
Yeah, okay.
no.
Evening, Nick.
Evening, how's everybody doing?
Very good.
Nice to see you all.
Fran has her own art desk now.
Oh, really?
She's very
Wow.
happy. She hasn't had a dedicated art space. Actually, you haven't had a dedicated art space for as long as we've been together because we've been in small flats and things like this.
Yeah.
Or like we've been somewhere short term and not wanted to invest in a nice table or whatever.
Yeah.
But now we've got one of the bedrooms upstairs is half, one side is my office and the other side is the art desk wall. So, yeah.
That won't last long, Eli. You'll be squeezed into a corner and Fran will take over the entire room. And you'll be sat in a little bit with your computer.
Actually, I have, for when there's guests over, because it's also the guest room, so we have a little fold-out bed thing in there. If there's guests over for a long period of time and I still need to do a bit of work, I have like a little drop-down table in the bedroom, which I could just use my laptop on. I'll
There we
probably
go.
end up on that permanently.
Yeah. Art spaces tend to expand if you
Yeah.
don't keep an eye on them. It's like, yeah, takes over everything.
Around the whole house.
Yeah. Hey, Maya.
Hello.
Hello.
I'm glad you're enjoying the deer.
Yeah, it was great. It was a surprise.
Yeah. Oh, good.
Yeah.
All right. We better start doing some San Sau then, hey, guys? Right. We're recording. We need to go big screen. And we need to go other camera. Oops, not that one. That one. And that one. Fun fact. Apples suck. As in Apple, not apples, I love apples, but Apple Macintosh. I didn't realize what was going on with my camera for a while because the the lens would show this bar when I'm on the laptop with it, when it's plugged into Zoom. But when I look through the camera, it doesn't show the bar. And that's because iPhones and Apples have decided to take away the ability to turn off the image stabilization, which means it's cropped in. So when I'm looking on my Zoom camera, it's like a nice big wide angle, but when you film anything with your phone, it's a cropped in angle so that the image stabilization works. Really annoying, Apple. Okay, let's get some training done. All right, quick warm up. It's evening time, so we shouldn't need to warm up too much. Have you got a bar? Can you hang upside down? Well, I did mention we've got to all get bars at some point, don't we? Oops, hang on. I've lost my bar. Sorry. Maybe I'm in a silly mood again. Okay, quick spinal move. Just want to wake up the spine and the shoulders, since that's what we're going to be using in tonight's class. Okay, bend your knees, sinking down, feet parallel, shoulder width. Stick your bum out, pushing your pelvis down, tilting the pelvis down as far as you can. Get as much range of motion happening as possible. Lift your chest up, pushing that up so your spine's concaving at the back. And then pull your elbows back, pull your fists back, look up, and then breathe out and curl up into a ball. Open it up. And breathe out. Curl up into a ball. Open it up. Curl up into a ball. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's make sure the lower back's looking good. You just take one step forward, because otherwise I'm going to slap you in the bum. Okay, sink forward, hinge forward from the hips, 45 degrees if that's your limit, or preferably 90 degrees. Relax your spine completely down, let it hang, and then just straighten it. Just straighten up your spine back to that neutral position. Relax it, straighten it. Breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and then open your wings and breathe out. Open your wings, breathe out. Open your wings, breathe out. Open your wings, breathe out. Keep it going. In breath, out breath. In breath, out breath. In breath, out breath. And then roll your spine up. Open your shoulders at the top, pull them back, and relax. Okay, you go on that side. I'm taller. Okay, hand to the front, just feet parallel, shoulder width. I'm just going to do a little rotator cuff movement. Make sure all of that rotation in the shoulders, in the back of the shoulders particularly, is nice and warm before we start, boom, doing back fisting actions in the Small San Sau, like I just did then. So we're going to internally rotate the shoulder, like so. Right? Roll that right in so your thumb is pointing as far inward as you can. Don't hunch your shoulders over, don't lean forward, just rotate the shoulder, internally spiraling the arm in. You can feel that shoulder joint moving internally in there. In that internal position, you're going to bring it over your head, brush your hair back with your elbow, so your biceps here brush your ear. Pull it right back. Notice the elbow and the palm are both back. I'm not relaxing the elbow like this, for example. Keeping the elbow back, opening up through the chest here, hand back. And then to finish, you're going to strike to the front with the back of your right palm. And notice the shoulder is now externally rotated. See that? You're pulling the elbow in, so the thumb is aiming, not fully down, but it's aiming as far down as it can, like so. Then bring the other arm in, just relax that one. Again, as far inward as you can, internally rotate that shoulder and forearm as far as you can. Once it reaches that furthest position, lift it up. Now, if you're not mobile enough, you might just bring the hand over the head, but try to get it towards the elbow that's coming over the head. So the biceps brush the ears back, or ear. Again, elbow back as it's coming over your head. And then relax, spiraling upwards. Like someone's putting you in a Aikido lock or something. And then relax that arm, bring this one in. Internal rotation. Bring it over. You're stretching all the way down the side here, opening up your chest. And then notice I'm compressing down through here as it's coming out. Very much like a number 8 palm from Bagua. In fact, it is a number 8 palm from Bagua. Other arm. Internally rotate. Lift it up. A little bit of an opening on that side as I'm taking it over my head. You see? And then as I bring it back to the front, a closing on that side. Now let's keep that going just with a bit of flow. So you're going to roll it in, take it over, and strike. Roll it in, take it over, strike. Make sure you don't just relax here at the end, really twist that over into a number 8 palm. Roll it over. Here, internal, take it back. Okay, that ought to make your shoulders warm enough. Let's get into the Small San Sau. Okay, first things first, let's do some revision. Let's just drill it through a few times. We haven't done any of the back fisting yet in class, so we've just done up to these low blocks. So let's do 1, 2 lower block, 1, 2 lower block, as we did last time. I'm just going to stand a step forward from Fran so that I don't whack her in the face. Okay. Don't whack that way. Just be careful you don't whack this. You might actually just have to stand behind me for this one, I think, because otherwise one of us is going to hit something to the side. Okay, so let's try it. So we're going to go, we'll all go that way to start. Okay. And then straight down into the block. Drop the hands. Go straight back the other way. Relax. Remember, it's the hinge arm more so being the attacking arm. It's striking the left hand. The left hand's just kind of falling with a bit of heavy weight, but boom, it's the bottom arm which is striking across. Again. Making sure it's popping on the end. Get that hinge action and not any kind of a lift on the end like this. It's sweeping down nice and low across your body. You see, make sure you're not coming up through here, keeping it up in some way. Take it down across your body and then concentrate all that pressure right there into the top portion of the forearm, just below the elbow, like that, just past the elbow. Okay. Make sure this hand is up, nice and yang, like so. Do not let it hang down yin. You'll break your fingers or the block just won't work if you do it like that. And relax. Now remember, in the first class we talked about exaggerating things. So I just wanted to say the blocking hand, particularly of these movements, okay, make sure that, okay, it doesn't have to be done big. If I do it like this, All the principles are there. Everything's doing the right thing, okay? When I do it like that. That's becoming a bit more, a little bit more martial, a bit smaller. It's not how you should be learning it the first time, okay? Do it bigger. Everything in the Small San Sau is as big as it can be without being silly about it. So you'll notice this hand, when I sweep it out there, I'm not just cutting it straight up here and out, and not that on that shallow circle. Because what will happen is if you do a shallow circle, when you're learning the form, you'll end up, see that hand? It kind of, the power was going up. I didn't get that nice backward cutting. I didn't get the right projection of power. So what we want to do is, remember that first class I told you about that little minute weight shift forward? Before the engagement, the twist and everything comes out, that little movement, before the turn happens. As that movement happens, just a little bit onto that front leg, you lift up that arm. See, it's lifting. And then to there, if I do it slowly, boom. Watch my arm here. Look where it's striking from. If I'm trying to pause there at the, it's literally striking from the other side of the corner. It's going to go to that corner. It's starting on that corner, the opposite corner. Okay? Rather than cutting up the center, what most people do is they cut up the center and then try to rotate it out to the corner, which you can do at a later stage, at a smaller frame, but much more difficult to do that as a beginner. So your hand should be coming up roughly. Second move in the form. Where does the hand come up? Look. Out towards that corner. It's not exactly the same because the body is in a slightly different position in the slow form, but similar principles. It comes right the way over here and then sweeps out to the other side. Again, this posture is not exactly the same. Don't think that they're the same posture. They're just the same root posture. So it's see, by lifting the hand higher on that first section, this really helped Fran's lesson today. That was one thing she wasn't quite getting, and I stood there and I was throwing punches at her and trying to get the power in, and I realized she was cutting up too soon. As soon as I told her to lift up over here, boom, the power went straight into my arm. So it's a very good learning tool. Once you get the feeling of how a technique is supposed to project out of your body, the correct structure and direction of force, then you can start shrinking it down once you understand the movement. But if you try that right from the beginning, you'll never understand it from the first place. So, see, because it's coming up so high, now all that's left from here is just totally lateral power cutting across your body. So let's just all do that first move just for a moment. Jump back in, Fran. Don't worry if you can't see my feet. You don't need to see my feet. It's mainly the upper body we're working on here. In fact, I might even just try this one. I'll come in a little bit closer for this one so you can see my upper body a little bit more clearly. The feet, you know the feet now. They're just swiveling back and forth 90 degrees. Okay, so lift your hand bigger up towards the corner and then across. Making sure the blocking hand is minute, this much, bending and extension. When I lift it up, look at the arm. Can you see that? It's never bending to 90 degrees. It's only ever bending maybe to 135 degrees or something like that. So when I lift it up, the arm is relatively straight. And then when I swing it out, it's already quite straight, so the extension on that elbow is just to sort of concentrate the pressure. By extending the elbow, it just sort of boom, puts the power down into here. But there should be no component of this. Well, I shouldn't say no component, there is a small component, but it's very small. So it's a little bending and then an extending. Whereas the striking hand, as we've covered already, it's tucking in, that's that, hey, g'day mate, and then boom, pushing it out, you see? So one hand is very obviously tucking in. The other hand is staying out straight. Okay, let's just drill that a few times. Let's go. Big. Bigger. See how my palm is passing the camera. Again, this wouldn't work very well from a fighting point of view. It'd just be too big. It wouldn't get there in time. But essentially, my palm is passing. If you were standing in front of me throwing punches at me, my palm would pass right by your face before it hits your arm, okay? So the movement's too big to use in combat, but it's a good learning tool. So again, brush it by your camera, or whatever you're looking at, your screen, brush it by, what, and then hit it, you see? Boom, set it up, chi disruption, boom, hit him in the neck. Boom. And remember, the hands should be getting to their apexes virtually at the same time. None of this stuff, none of this separating the arm stuff. Bring them in at the same time. Get your eyes on the front, eyes, as you're doing it. Then when you drop your hands, head drops. Head relaxes, eyes relax. Your whole posture, your whole energy. You don't go, bah! I'm staying in fight. You don't stay like that. Bah! Relax. Like, fight's over, he's dead. I can go home now. Oh no, someone else is attacking me. Bang. And then get back into that mode. The whole point is whoom, and nothingness. You see? Wah! Calm down. Wah! Calm down. Whoom! Calm down. Whoom! 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 Okay, let's continue. Back into the low blocks. So 1, 2, and drop down. 1. Still with that bigger movement. Keep that bigger movement going. Whoom! And boom! Again, okay, from here, look. Make that part of the movement, make it as big as you can, as I always say, without being silly. Okay, boom! See, I can just bring it here. That's very small. Don't do that. I could go, that's silly. I'm reaching out far too much. I'm breaking my structure, or I'm leaning over or doing something silly like that. So make it as large as you can while still feeling like it's all connected to your center. Let's go. Internal, external rotation. Boom. Both internally rotating there. Both internally rotating. Now, left arm, the lower hand's the only one you really need to think about here. Let it externally rotate. It's not really even externally rotating. It's just relaxing away from the internal rotation, which technically is external rotation. But it's inwardly rotated. Don't hold on to that inward rotation. You'll create tension. Relax your arm as it's coming down, see? Like as if you're going to pat someone on the bum here. Probably going to have to change that metaphor in modern times. That was the metaphor my dad always used to use. In the modern societies, it's probably not PC anymore. Anyway, bring that down like you're going to bowl, 10-pin bowling. But then it twists back to its internal rotation on the end of the movement, you see? At least I always say someone and not like her or something. Dad always used to say someone, actually. And if ever he would demonstrate, he'd always get the big tough guy in the class and pat him on the bum. Okay, so you feel that external to internal rotation. So bang, let's try that again. The main thing to get here with this lower block is you've got to let it externally rotate as it's dropping, okay? And then internally rotate, but without taking away from that natural dip of swing as it's penduluming down, okay? So a really nice way to do it is kind of, don't just completely drop your arm, like let it go, but feel the natural momentum of your arm with a little control. So just kind of get that feel. Let it swing across your body. And then feel that external rotation into internal rotation. If you externally rotate too much, so remember, as I said, it's just relaxing. It's not actively externally rotating. If you externally rotate too much, oh, that didn't feel very nice. It felt kind of like by doing that, it felt like I had to do a reload, like some kind of figure eight to get into the next move. So it's got to be small enough that, you see, it feels like it'll just, boom, and fall back into that nice position. Let's go again. 1, 2, 3, down. Again, bah, wah, wah. Again, wah, 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 wah. All right, that'll do us for revision today. Let's move on now to the first attacking movement. I mean, that's an attacking movement, but it's a defense attack. This is the first pure attacking move. Okay, let's just drill it a little bit first. Just see what happens. Okay, so we'll do it both sides. In fact, we'll keep doing, oh, is that going to work? If we go bang, bang. No, we don't really want to do that from that position. Now, we'll just reset and do it again, okay? Otherwise, it's going to become too complex because the form's not really designed to flow unless you do the next movement kind of thing. So, nice and slowly. 1, 2, 3. Okay, shift a little bit of weight forward and just step forward. Just come back a bit here so you can see my feet. Boom. Weight forward, shift weight, step forward, and bang. There's your back fist. Okay, let's do it one side a few times. So we're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 again. So let's start facing this way. Mirror me, mirror, mirror on the wall. Step, whack. Again, so with no details yet, just follow me along, do as best you can. 1, 2, boom, step forward, bang. All I'll say for now is the back fist is going laterally across your body and the target point is here, out to the front, kind of in line with your shoulder, like straight out from your shoulder, but it's boom, it's going that way. Be careful not to come too close to me because I'll back fist you in the face. Okay, nice and easy. Don't put a lot of force through it yet, just nice and easy. Again. Let's do the opposite side now, just with that same flow. So we're going to start facing this direction and bang. Start facing this way again. One more time. Okay, so a few details about how to do that back fist. Stage 1, step 1. We are not trying to do this back fist with any kind of whip, snap, recoil, fudging, explosivity. Shuck it out the door. Fundamental principles here. Flow, looseness, and structure. Okay? If you haven't got those three things, all the rest of it will never work for you. So, let's go down into one side. I'll just explain a few things. First of all, the footwork. Okay, you might be familiar with the Small San Sau footwork of taking a short stomping drop step. We do not do that on the first back fist. You can at a later stage, but only once your strike has become extremely small frame and explosive. That's not what we're doing tonight. Okay, so we're doing step first. Shift weight, step, shift weight. 1, 2, 3. 3 components, okay? 1, step, 2. But notice how it sort of all flows as one movement. 1, 2. And that's because I am not 100% sinking into that front leg. Like, for example, when we do the slow form, we've only done up to here so far in the slow form. We haven't done the step yet in the slow form. When you do the next step in the slow form on Thursday night, I mean, most of you have done the slow form before anyway, so I think you know what I'm talking about. What are we doing? Yeah, you come here and then you sink. And it's a totally balanced step, right? It's a very controlled step and it's a totally separate action because, A, you're learning about balance and different things like that, but there's 2 extra strikes in the Luchan form compared to the Small San Sau. Small San Sau is block, boom, straight into the back fist. Yang Luchan's form is different block for starters. It's front weighted, it's single-handed block. It's a different technique, but based around the same set of movements. Block, stick him in the eyes, slam him in the waist, and then come through with your final strike. So there's more happening here whilst you're stepping. We're not even thinking about the back fist yet. Small San Sau, however, from here, I want to think straight from this movement, go get him, whack. But I still don't want to drop step. I want to control that step and create flow and looseness in my body to begin with. So, you'll notice what I did there. Imagine okay, try it like this. I've got my weight in that leg. If I keep all my weight in that leg, it's sort of, all the weight's in it, so it's going to be clunky, right? Because you got to pick it up. You're going to get a stomp of some kind. So, shift your weight enough. What? See that? My weight's still shifted, but I'm not committed to that leg. I'm not fully centered in it. I'm shifting enough across so that I can do a slower step, so that when that heel hits the ground, I'm probably about 90%-ish, something like that, 80 to 90% of the weight in my right foot. But the most important element here is the center from here. Remember last week I told you about how this block, it's traveling around the body. It's not stopping here on the corner. We don't want this. Ugh, feels horrible. Gah, see, it hits on the corner roughly, boom, but it goes past the corner. As you're going past the corner, you're kind of going to hold on to that charge, that wind up as you step. So we get boom! See, I'm holding that wind up, that turn to the right, as I step that foot forward. But can you see how when I place the heel, I'll do it sideways so you can see the tilt of my body. When I place that heel, see that? I am still falling into it. Because that's how you fight. You don't fight like, right? You step. You step. You can't put your foot down first in a fight. Those steps in the form have nothing to do with fighting. They're totally for other points of your training. So when we're doing this Small San Sau step, it's still a committed step. It's still what? You see? You're ending up still in a shoulder width stance, so as in your heels are still at shoulder width. It's not particularly long, it's just sort of a bow stance, roughly a bow stance, maybe slightly shorter than your normal proper full frame bow stance. Your rear foot will be a little bit more turned in than a normal bow stance, because of course a bow stance, your goal there is going for leg strengthening and stretching, mobility, opening up the hips, those kind of things. Now we're going for just a solid stance to hit someone in the head. So, let's come back to here. As you step, hold your center, keep your center that way, charge it up. Wind it up. What? Place the heel. And then release. Okay? You've got to release the technique as you turn the center and shift the weight. We talked about this in the Yang Luchan's form. I don't know if we talked about it in this form, but the 3 things happening together. Weight shift, waist movement, and arms. Those are your 3 primary components as a beginner. So, what? See, look, my weight is already started. My weight's already moving. My waist is starting to move, and my arms are starting to move. Boom. And they all get there together. We don't want something like this, a drop step, hop, see, and then the waist and the arm are coming after the drop step. That's why we can't drop step in the beginning, because it would mean that the strike at the waist and the arm have to be as quick as, pum, that speed. That's how fast you've got to fit in all this. You've got to shrink it all down to fit into that size. So we don't want to do that. So, wah. But notice when the foot hits the ground, although it's sinking into that foot, it's, I'm going into it, it's still, at that point, I'm still on the back leg. I do not want to shift so little weight that when I step, I'm front weighted, and now all I've got is a twist. You see, I'm already front weighted. The main thing here for the power is you must make sure that, boom. You see, your weight, your waist, and your arm swing out all together. Let's try that a few times. From here, hold on to that turn, keep your body turning, step forward, charge up your body. Now place your heel, move forward, shift your weight, boom. As I say, the back fist here is just here to the outside of your shoulder on that line. Okay, that's where you're hitting there with the back of that left palm. Boom. Your other hand's just out here to the side, like as if maybe you're holding onto an arm, controlling something, this kind of thing. It's not doing anything particularly special just yet. It's just sort of pushing down a little bit as you go through. Whack. Okay, it's in a little bit of a grabbing motion. Let's try that again. Coming down to here. Shift your weight. As you're shifting the weight, charge your body, hold onto that twist, roll your foot. Now release everything. Whoa. Boom. You see what I'm doing there? It's like I'm breaking it down into sections. So I'm going 1, shift the weight forward, roll the heel up, still charging my body to the rear. Starting to step, but I'm not actually putting my foot down as part of that first step, like that stage 1. I do not want to go 1, 2, and then 3, because then I'm not committed. I'm stopping. There's a stop there. I never want to have a stopped center when that heel hits the ground. When that heel hits the ground, my body should already be moving forwards. So from here again, rolling it forward, rocking the weight forward, charging up your body. When I say charging the body, I'm going to do it directly towards you here. Look, boom. So you're now my corner, because I started here on the corner. Boom. Watch how far my center turns. See that? It's an intent. It's holding on to that charge. I don't want to see you going from here and going something like this. Don't turn your body. It's just a squeezing kind of wind up. It's really just holding on to that charge you've already created from doing the block. Boom. Eyes on the front, of course. Wind it up, step, roll the foot out. Now, see, look, the foot's still off the ground. So now I can place the foot. You see? It's like I'm committing into it. I mean, even pausing there while I'm talking is still not 100% correct. It should be rolling, my toes still on the ground, and then I go, See, when my toe comes off the ground, my body just wants to go that way. It's like it falls into the posture. Boom. Okay, let's do that as a drill now, just side to side, okay? And what we're going to do is, I'll give you the next little bit of footwork so that we can do this movement as a nice drilling exercise, okay? Rather than starting back with these ones again, we're going to go one step on and just drill that section. So from here, we've stepped forward, right? We've got the feet parallel on the same line. Step forward, come into stance. We're now going to swivel back to the opposite corner over here by pivoting on the heel of the rear foot and pushing back off the front foot so we get that. So I'm essentially doing the same thing as I do from here, just swiveling across, shifting the weight and turning the center. Shift, 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 step, come forward, but instead of going from here over to there, I've got to drag this foot back as I swivel on that rear heel, okay? The important thing to note here is this is all about connecting to your center, getting all the extremities to connect to your center. You've got to push back off that front leg, of course, to shift your weight back. At the same time, you turn, twist your body, but your feet, see, they hit the ground together. They get there together. We don't want something like 1, 2, okay? Or any other version of 1, 2, anything like that. You move the feet, you see? And it should be smooth. See that? Nice and smooth. Not something like this. You've got to push your weight to the correct positioning. If you keep too much weight forward and you're dragging your foot, you've got weight on that front foot, it should be smooth. It should be graceful when you do that movement. Like so. Now we're on the other side. From this position, right? This hand's on top, this hand's already on the bottom. Just bring your hands together, like that, as you do that movement. So now we're doing the blocking motion. It's still a little bit exaggerated. It's still not quite down to a practical fighting sense yet, but it's smaller than what the first one was. The first one was that huge, big sweeping action. Now, boom, from there. Now we're just cutting across from here. Pull that foot back, drop it in. Now now in the form, we do a different strike here when we come forward. Those of you who know the form, but we're not going to do that. We're going to do the same technique back and forth, right? Left and right. So from here, again, charge it up, whack. Bring it back, charge it up, whack. I'm going to come forward a little bit. Okay, so from there again, whack. Okay, whack, whack. Notice how I turn all the way to the front. My shoulders, hips, I square off to the front as I do that back fist to throw that arm out, but then I recoil and center back a little bit, so I finish, see? My center is actually opening slightly on the end of the movement, which leads perfectly into the turning back. So it's like, there's a little load, which gives me the twist then, to come back to here. So, you see, don't try to get it too quick and flowy yet. Just relax your body. After this one, just sort of settle a little bit, like, okay, what's going to happen next? Bring it across, boom. Shift, whack. Boom, whack. Your feet should be sort of stopping just before your hands hit. Boom, kind of thing. So the feet tap, the toes sort of tap down on the ground, dum dum, just before your hands reach their position. Da da. Okay. Da 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 da. Okay, I'm going to explain something about how that works from an applicational point of view. Okay, yes, on the one hand, the whole set of movements is quite exaggerated, but it's still good to have a picture in your mind as to what is happening. I think I already showed you the first move last week. So she's just swinging a hook punch at you and just boom, just cutting, slamming down her forearm and slamming her across the neck. So we've done that one. And I showed you how to do these blocks. Remember I said, maybe you could be twisting her down here. She slips out, throws that punch and catch it in here. All different manner of things as how and why you would get to that position. Now the back fist. Okay, when would you use a back fist? The Small San Sau, this is a really important area to understand about the Small San Sau. Not all the postures, but some of the postures are what we call secondary techniques. As in techniques that only work, they work brilliantly if used at the right moment. I mean, all techniques work better when used at the right moment, of course, but like a simple boom, 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 simple things like little parries and blocks and punches, simple things like that. You swing them out anywhere and there's a good chance they'll work, you see? Whereas something like this back fist, 90% of the time, it's not going to be the right thing to do. But 10% of the time, it's going to be the best thing to do, okay? So I'll give you an example. Okay, let's say, if you can do the Small San Sau for me. So just do that lower block. Right, so Fran's done that. Let's assume she's not doing the small San Sau. Now you should just in that kind of a guard, like that sort of thing, right? So she's standing like that. Maybe I'm out here, okay, and I come to try to chuck a punch in at her, right? Try through her guard into her belly, something like that. That's the analogy here. Boom, she's caught it there. Okay, look at my body positioning. Boom. Throw the back fist. Where's my hand? It's right here. Look, my hand's not going to be down here. Anyone with any sense of what they're doing, this hand is going to be here, in which case the back fist is simply not going to work. Whereas the other hand, go back to that position, hit me with the other hand. That's much more difficult for me to block, you see, and it's more powerful. Your close range here, do not use a back fist at close range. Back fists suck at close range. If you were that close, boom, you'd use an elbow in here maybe, but the best possible thing you could do from this position is stick your fingers straight in her eyes or up her nose. Okay, then maybe come through with something else afterwards. But that hand is going to be your direct lead up hand. Not to mention the fact that even, let's say I was at a slightly further distance, right? Same sort of thing, boom, but I'm at a bit of a distance, a little bit of a distance, but I'm still coming in like, wow, look where my fist is. What am I doing here? I'm coming through. What? This is my follow-up. 90% of the time, this is going to be my follow-up. Or even if it's not. If this is my follow-up, doesn't matter what I'm going to do with anything that I do with this hand, it's not going to be a good idea for her to hit me there. Because do your back fist. What? Thank you, darling. She hits me there. I hit her here, you see. We're both going to get hit. My punch is more powerful. Okay, this is a much bigger punch than that back fist. So chances are I'm still winning. Okay, same position, but let's say I've come in there, what, and I'm coming through with something else. Cover with this hand and hit me with this hand. Bang. Now she's covered here and she's whacking me with. That's a much better technique to do. So that's a primary technique. That's like what you should be doing most of the time. So when would we use the back fist? What situation would the back fist work better? I'll just give you one. There's a lot of different things it could work for, but one situational thing that could happen. Let's say, go back to this side. I'll do it to you again. Let's say I've thrown that punch. What a lot of people will do is they'll throw the first punch, and instead of coming like boom, boom, straight over the top, or whoom, whoom, around the back, assuming they've got really quick reflexes, they're trained boxers or something, your average dude in the street throwing punches at you is not trained. They don't know how to punch properly, so they load their punches, but they're big. That's the thing. Dude in the street is still a big, tough brawler. He's been in a lot more real fights than you have. Even though you've got more training than he does, he's got more realism. He's been hit with a bare fist 100 times more than you have. He's going to be much more confident in himself in that real fight. But we can learn to take advantage of his weaknesses. His weaknesses are the fact that he's not well trained. So, example, he comes in with that low punch, boom, whoom. See how I loaded my body back in that moment? Instead of going, whoom, whoom, as a good fighter would do, he's just brawling. I'm going to fucking boom, load it back, boom, load it back, boom, load it back, boom. People do that. And if you know how to take advantage of that, rather than what most people will do is, because I'm bigger, big brawler, looking tough, skinhead, tattoos, small girl, she takes that first block, boom, she sees me go, what? She panics, goes, oh shit, he's going to hit me again. Now she's thinking about defense. If she panics, she's thinking yin, thinking defense. Now she's got to block this one as well. She's got to block that and then block this, and then I'm coming and I've got all that brute force, and she's, oh shit, panic, panic, panic. Instead, utilize my weakness. So I come in here, boom, as I load, follow me. Whack with the back fist, controlling this wrist perhaps. So as soon as I start moving back, obviously we stopped there, but this is sort of how it would look roughly. Boom, whack. So quicker on your back fist. Boom, boom. You see that? That was perfect. She followed me. She didn't give me any chance. She hit me before I even got to my reloaded position. Once again. Boom, bang, bang. She's already knocked me out, you see? And even if she's not knocked me out, once she's hit me there, belt across the head. Now, yeah, by all means, she'll come in with the other hand, with a kick, with a knee, what elbows, all sorts of other stuff. Point being, from that position, if we go from here again, you're done there. If you just do that same thing, just sort of move back, move away from me like you want to try to load. Do that, move back, yeah. See, look at my right hand. This would have been the practical thing to do here, but now it's like, oh, hang on, it's a bit too far. That's difficult. Not only is it difficult from a reach perspective, but it's also, look at the angle, it's kind of across the body. So to follow her there with this hand, I've got to really adjust my body, adjust my stance. It takes more time. But this hand, whoa, bang. It's like it's right there. That's my long reach arm because it's on that side of my body. I can reach her much more easily with that hand. So when she moves away from me for that posture, whoa, boom, I can follow her up. From there, of course, then I'm going to follow through with something else. So that's just one analogy for the first movement, the back fist there. As we go through, I'll try to explain those, but if at any point you're training, maybe you're training with another martial artist, a boxer or an MMA fighter or something, and he's like, well, hang on, but that doesn't make sense. Why would you do a back fist from that position when he could punch you there, or you're not covered here, blah, blah, blah. You're not understanding the attacking portion. The attacker in the Small San Sau is so important to be very specific. If you just stand here and go, okay, you do the Small San Sau, boom. This is okay for the first part, that's all right. But now we just go, boom, yeah, boom, and she throws a punch. She's now training terrible technique by doing that. She's throwing a punch where I've got my guard, for one thing, and she's totally open to a counter strike, and she's using her weak arm to hit me rather than her power arm to hit me. She's doing all the wrong things. We do that same thing again. Boom, just really slow and steady like a beginner would be learning. Boom, boom, what? Now she's training the right things, you see? Didn't quite do the technique exactly, but, but the right idea. She followed me up. That's where you would use a back fist, you see? Never use it from close range, and never use it when that side of your head is completely open. The reason that side of her head is not open, if I do the punch again, bang, okay, here, look, that side of her head's all open, but it's not open if I go like this, because I'm loading my fist. There's no way I'm going to hit you with that. If she sees that shoulder pulling back, what? She follows, smack, and then comes, well, then I don't, hopefully then I don't come forward. So that gives you an idea there. Visualize that as we're doing it. Let's drill it a few more times. Okay, here we go. 1, nice and easy. 2, take it down, boom, everything's quite close and tight. He's quite close to us. He's running away now. Go get him, whack. You see, go out and get him, boom, with that back fist. Relax down, other side. Whoa. 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 Go get him, whack. See, it's a long reach, it's a traveling technique. Other side. Go get him. The back fist we're doing at the moment is boom. It's a hammer back fist. Boom. Okay. I'll just give you a. Ooh. Nah, that should be okay. I don't want to wake the girls up. I'll just hit it a couple of times. Oh, I know. There we go. Silencer. Maybe stand on this. No, maybe stand on this side. Can you put it on that arm because that's my bad shoulder? Hit it with this side. Okay. Here's the special. If someone attacks you and your babies are awake, asleep, cover your fists. Right. Silent boxing. Special secret kung fu technique. Okay. It's much better. Look. I don't even want to hit it with that hand. Okay. So there's the mitt there. Right. The technique we're looking for here is. See that? It's essentially the same sort of body mechanics as the opening move when we do that one, this hand. Obviously different shape of the hand, but that thing of just swinging your body through. The difference is when you hit a mitt, when you practice it, and same if you're hitting someone in the head, the power of the blocking movement, that first technique we're doing, the power would be going this way. It'd be brushing the mitt when it hits, slipping. When I do this back fist, boom, see where it's projecting the mitt to? It's projecting through the mitt. Even if the hand seems to end up over here, you can see where it's going compared to, now I'm brushing, you see? Now I'm brushing the mitt. Boom, going straight through it. The power is going directly into the bag. Boom. But I am in no way trying to do that and coil back at this stage. We'll move on to that at a much later stage. But for now, boom, just a big, heavy, swinging, loose arm. And of course, exactly the same, boom, on the other side of things. Right. Let's do it. What were we doing? Oh yeah, just that one. Boom. 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 Look at my elbow. A lot of people see the final posture of Pung at an advanced level, or how it's done in the form. This sort of rounded shape. So they think they have to do the back fist somehow like this, with the arm in a rounded shape. You can't do a back fist like that. Well, you can, but it's a much small frame and don't do it. Look at the arm. The elbow is almost straight when I make contact with my target. Okay? So extend your arm out. Boom. So you've got twisting power, you've got weight shift power, and you've got shoulder opening and elbow extending power. All of those things in one. Boom. Bring it back. And bring it back. And bring it back. And all right. That'll do us a Small San Sau, I reckon, for today. Let's see if we've got any questions. That one.
Me again.
Oh, Dagmar's got a question.
Sorry for that. I don't remember that we were talking about the block last time. Can you please say something about it or to repeat it? Because I think we just ended up here, but not with the block.
I think you're confusing it with the Yang Lu Chan form class.
No, I
We
don't.
definitely did the block. Can anyone else confirm that? Did we do the bumping the hand technique in the last San Sau class?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, you're outnumbered.
Okay. Forget it, then I watch the video. No
Yeah,
problem.
it's still on the YouTube, so you can
Yeah.
re-watch it again. Maybe I don't know, maybe you had a little nap during the middle of it or something. Yeah.
Okay. Forget
That
it.
happens to me sometimes. You just, I once did my form up in a mountain in Utah. It was either Utah or Montana. And we were at about 4,000 meters up. I'd never been in high altitude before, and we'd hiked already about 2 days to get up there. And, hiking packs, all of that. And then I thought, I'm going to do my form up in this beautiful mountaintop. I was already feeling a bit, lightheaded and the dizziness and that from the altitude. I was going through my form, and then I finished, and I said, looked at the guys I was just, because they were Taiji people as well. I said, did I miss something out of that third when I did that? I felt a bit, kind of dizzy. I feel like maybe I missed something, because I could see they'd been sitting there watching me, and they were like, yeah, like about half of it. I came to one of the single whips and then just finished, and I left out like half of the third. Yeah. All right. Any other questions about these postures?
Not a question, but a question. Something you said just triggered a thought. Why is it called the Small San Sau?
Because before this one, there was just the San Sau. And since this one is smaller, they call it the Small San Sau. That's the only reason, really. And so nowadays we call the San Sau, the Pao Chui form, the large San Sau. Calling it the large San Sau is actually a more modern name. I'm not sure what other schools of people call the two forms. But yeah, simply to distinguish it from the bigger one, the Pao Chui. And obviously it's much smaller. It's only up to single whip. It's just got, I don't know, 15 moves or something. So simply that. It's just smaller than the other one by contrast.
Thank you.
All right then. I'm going to do a 30-minute cool down stretching if anyone wants to join me for that. Just a chilly sort of sitting on the floor, stretching our legs, rolling our shoulders, that kind of stuff. So anyone who wants to stay for that, I will, if I see people actually still with us, I'll give a little bit of a description as to what I'm doing. Like I'm going to do my own stretching and just cool down. Nice simple things just to relax the body down for the evening. Make sure you don't wake up too tight in the morning from all this striking and so on. And then,
Okay. I think about it.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, I have to go to work tomorrow, but maybe it's good to have to cool down. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's the way I see it. Like I've got to get up for class in the morning.
Yeah,
I've got to get up at 5:30 for class in the morning. But like right now, after a class like that, I don't feel like going to bed anyway because I'm all pumped up. So now if I do a half hour, then I'm like, I feel like bed now, and I go straight to sleep. So
I try. Yeah.
Right.
I do it. Yeah.
Right. Let's try that then. Okay. All right, we're going to be doing sitting on the floor stuff, so I may as well just tip this down a bit so you get a slightly better view. Okay, so let's just sit down on the floor. Just relaxed, sitting cross-legged. We'll do some stuff for the shoulders and upper back first, since we've been doing all of that San Sau, and then we'll finish up with some leg stretching. So just sit however is comfortable for you, just a normal cross-legged. You can either have the feet flat on the ground or one under, just, the point is to be comfortable. Okay, so we're going to do the one that we've done several times in other classes as a warm-up, but standing. Now we're going to do it sitting. So link your fingers, breathe in. Nice deep breathing, and then push your fingers out, hollow out your chest. Breathing out, so you're rounding your whole spine, tucking your pelvis under, tipping your head down, pushing your hands out in front of you. Then breathe in, push your body forwards as far as feels comfortable. Keep your backbone straight and lift your arms up as high as you can reach. Then breathe out. Then breathe in, straightening your back up. And breathe out, relaxing your hands down to the sides. Breathe in, link your fingers. Same again, breathe out, hollow your body out. Breathe in, lean forward, lift your palms up. Breathe out. Breathe in, sitting up. And breathe out, relaxing down. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in, coming forward, lifting up. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Take your palms behind your body so your fingers point backwards, right around to the rear. Just lean back onto them gently. And then just move your bum a little bit away from your hands so you're stretching through your shoulders, pushing your chest up to stretch into your shoulders. So you're trying to stretch through the front here, just opening up your chest. Breathing in. Breathing out, relaxing. Breathing in. Lifting up, stretching. Breathing out. Relaxing. Breathing in, stretching. Breathing out. Relaxing. Relax back to the front. Very, very simple one, this one. Just take your hand across your body and just pull it across. Breathing out. This will give you a nice stretch through the, just in between the scapula and the spine. So you've been using a lot of these muscles today, so just relaxing them out. Just hugging your arm into your chest. Breathing deeply. Nurturing that arm. Don't just pull on it and yank it. I want you to hold your elbow in your own elbow and then put your arm, your palm rather, on your shoulder. And make like you're hugging your arm. Like you're hugging another person, just like, hey, it's okay, come on, you'll be all right tomorrow. And then switch sides. So again, put the elbow inside the elbow, just stretch it across and hold on and nurture that other side of the shoulder. Notice I'm not being still, I'm just sort of moving my body around a little bit. Seeing if I can feel out any little tight spots. And if I feel a tight spot, I might just hold that position for a moment. And relax. Take one arm up in front of you, like you're trying to scare off elephants. Take the other hand around underneath it. So again, the elbow will come directly underneath the arm. Bring it up through the center. Grab your hands together and then pull your hand out to the side. So I'm externally rotating my left shoulder, twisting it that way by using my other hand, like so, to stretch the internal rotator muscle, the, what is it, the subscapularis, I think it is. It's a little hidden muscle underneath your scapula that wraps around into the front of your shoulder, and it's responsible for rotating your shoulder inward. We do that a lot, especially in fighting. There's a lot of that inward rotation. So it can get tight. It can aid towards rounded shoulders and things like that. So just let it relax out. And again, see, I'm not doing anything crazy hard stretching right now. This is a cool down stretch. Relaxing stretch. I'm just nurturing the arm, breathing deeply. And then relax that out. Big breath. Do the opposite side. So this hand is scaring away elephants. And take it around. And externally rotate that shoulder. Again, just kind of moving it around a little bit. And relax that off. Okay, still sitting here. You might want to change your feet now if you had one foot under. I like to switch my feet around so that I get more of a balanced sitting position. So I've put my left foot under the right foot now. Okay, just place your forearms on your knees like so. And all we're going to do is push the chest forward. Much the same as this one that we do to begin most classes. So opening the chest forward and then hollowing the chest out. But instead of just going back and forth, we're going to circle the chest. A large range of motion. See how, go as far as you can before you tip over. You don't want to be tipping over, of course. So just go, and then again, as far forward as you can, as far to the side as you can. Really snake your body around. Back the other way. As much range of motion. You really feel your lower spine moving around. Your whole spine's moving, really. Okay, let's get some leg stuff happening. All right, we'll start off with this one here. So you're going to sit with your front leg here in front of you at 90 degrees. So the knee is at 90 degrees here. The rear leg, just plonk that out to the rear wherever it feels comfortable. Okay, so you're not getting a cramp anywhere in the hip or anything. And then just sitting there like so, place your palms down in front of you like this. And just gently lean your body down over the top of your knee. So you're trying to lean your chest sort of over your knee, like so, using your hands to support. Once you get to the point where you feel comfortable, that low, comfortable position, drag your body, using your arms to push your body across towards your foot, till your head, you're looking at your foot, your head's over your foot, and then come up, breathing in. Breathe out as you go down towards the knee again. Over towards the foot, and then breathe in. Feel free to reposition your hands whenever you need to for balance, for movement, depending on how low you're going. You might, if you're going lower and you're feeling your foot's moving, you might want to just brace that heel with your palm here to stop it slipping in, because sometimes it will slip in. Again, breathing out. Breathing in as you come up each time. Breathing out. Remember, you're coming forward by hinging at the hips, not by rounding the back like this. I'm bringing my chest down, you see? See, my back's staying relatively straight. I'm not doing this to get it down. The whole point is to stretch the leg. So I'm coming down like so, and then across. That's why I say aim your chest to here and here, not your head, because otherwise that can sometimes just lead to bad posture. But if you think about your chest coming down, especially the lower portion here of the chest, it keeps you in a much better structure as you're flowing through the movement. Breathe. And now just reverse that. Go down towards the foot. If you need to go and put the babies back to sleep, now's your chance. Up, breathe out. Down towards the foot, over to the knee. Coming back up, breathing in. And breathing out. If you can get your head to touch your foot, that's a really great goal to get towards. In breath, out breath. But the great thing about this movement, you can do it as little or as much as you want. Everyone can do, well, at least most people. You obviously have to have some level of mobility just to sit on the floor, but yeah, most people can do this because you can just do it here or all the way down. Switch sides. Exactly the same thing on the reverse side, like so. Starting over the knee. Nice and gentle to start, nothing too extreme. Sink down over to the foot. Breathe in as you come up. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. The aim is to get lower and lower, gradually, with each rotation. Breathing as deep as possible, so you're massaging all your internal organs with your breath. Stretching all the intercostal muscles through your rib cage, again, by breathing. Really fully expand, open when you come up into the upper position. Breathe in, now we're going to reverse direction. Down towards the foot. Over towards the knee, and breathe in as you come up. Really fill your lungs up, fill your chest, your belly as you come up, and all the way back down. Coming out of that one, relaxing. Switch back to the other side. Same sort of positioning. This is an easy way to get this movement on. Okay, so normally I do this movement from a pigeon position, grab the rear foot and bend it in like so, but that's too difficult for most people. So come back to this position. You could do that one if you prefer, but if you want to try it this way, go back to that position we were just in. We're on the opposite side now. Grab your foot. You should be okay to grab your foot there, and then pull your knee away from you. Like that. So whilst lying on the floor, lean your body over this way a little bit onto that palm. Pull your knee away from you and stretch into that leg, you see? So we don't want to just pull it up here. Nothing will really happen there. You want to pull this hip as far back as you can. Okay, really lengthen it back. And once it's on the ground, you can even kind of, you see, like push your hips forward like so, because you won't be able to get your knee back far enough, depending on your level of flexibility, like so. I can't move it backwards far enough. But from this position, holding onto that foot, I can push my hips forward. Now I'm feeling a nice stretch all the way through that quadricep hip flexor region, rolling in it. So it's kind of like I'm trying to get into this position, but I'm not quite there yet. I'm just stretching by pushing the hip forward, holding onto that ankle like so. And again, you might just be sitting here. That might already be a good stretch for you, but if it's not, push your hips forward. And if it's still not, roll your hips over. If it's still not, go fully into pigeon and pull that foot right down onto your buttocks. Okay? So I'm going to hold this one because I like the full stretch, but you could do the whichever variation of what we just did that suits you. Okay, other side. Exactly the same thing. Sitting here like so, grabbing that foot, drag that hip back, and then sink into it a little ways, pushing your hips forward. Just adjust that hand wherever you need to, pull that leg in, push it forward, try and roll your body forward a little bit as best you can. You might want to adjust this hand, roll it over, still holding that foot, and again, coming as far as you feel is comfortable for you to get into that full quadricep stretch. Okay. Finishing up. Let's do this one first. Yeah. So we're sitting on the floor like so. So the leg is not in front of me. The leg is out to the side. So the hip is open. One leg is out to the side, and I'm going to sink down over that foot. Grab hold of your shin. You can use this foot here in front of me to pull my body forward. If you're really out of flexibility and you're feeling like you're back like this, put your hands behind you and push yourself forward. If you're already getting a stretch, remember to downwardly tilt your pelvis to bring that stretch on by keeping your hands behind you. If you feel like, yeah, I need to go more forward to get a proper stretch on, then obviously you can grab this foot here to help pull you down. Again, don't aim to get your head on your leg. Aim to get your chest on your leg so you're not rounding your back, creating poor posture. You can use this one to bring you down a little ways. You can grab your shin. You can grab your pant. Not these ones, they're too baggy, but if you had jeans on or something, you could. Not that you should be wearing jeans when you're stretching. Pulling it down until, if you can grab that foot, of course, you can do that. You can grab the heel of the foot. Better again. But I'm still in that slightly open position. See how my body is a little bit more side on to the stretch. Don't do anything too extreme. You don't want to be sore from the stretching tomorrow. We're just lengthening out the muscles, making sure we're nice and loose. Breathing deeply. And I'm still moving. I'm wriggling my body in all the stretches that I do. I'm always just moving and wriggling the muscles. Let's do that on the other side. Exactly the same thing. So again, you might want to push your body forward using the hands at the rear. You might want to just push from here, maybe from your knee. If you need to get further, you can grab your foot here. Pull your body down. Again, don't push your head down. Keep your chest nice and up. Keep posture. Sink down. Grab your toes, ball of the foot, heel. See how low you can go. Again, just wriggling and moving. I'm even varying the bend in this knee. I'm not bending it right up, but I am slightly bending it a little bit in certain positions to feel out different muscle fibers running underneath. Another nice thing you can do also is take one hand under your leg and squeeze your hamstrings from underneath. Physically squeeze them in. Okay, now we're going to put the other leg straight out to the front, like so. Take your other leg over the top and then sit forward. Using this leg to hug onto it to help me pull myself forward. So what you should be feeling here in this position is a stretch down the outside edge of your hamstring. So it's still the back of your leg, the hamstring area. But because we're closed in now, you'll be feeling it much more down the outside of that hamstring. That's usually where most people are much tighter. Like I can't get anywhere near as low on this side compared to if I'm stretching the inner side. I just do more things naturally day to day, like in my Taiji forms and so on that inner side compared to the outside. I need to work on getting this outer side a little more stretched. Nice thing to do. Oh, you can't see my foot there, but I'm just wriggling my foot, just doing little circles with my foot, so it just changes the feeling in that leg again, softens up the nerves. Just wriggling that foot around. Let's go to the other side. Exactly the same thing. Just sink down onto it. Again, always wriggling your body, moving around a little bit. Don't just sit statically in one position. Breathe deeply. Relax that in. Last one, you're going to open both legs out as far as they can. Again, just leaning backwards, nice and relaxed. And then slowly walk yourself up. Push into the movement, stretching open as best you can. And just moving in, moving in, moving in. Opening up, stretching open you through here. And then again, keep your hands behind you. If you're feeling like you're rounding your body at all, keep your hands behind you to stay up in a nice upright posture. And then if you pass that vertical point, you can take your hands, of course, to the front and sink down. You can rock a little bit side to side with this one. You can do a little bit of a rolling circle with your body. You can roll left to right, which is nice. So you sort of go from one leg through the center and then over to the other leg. Through the center and over to the other leg. That's quite nice. Again, keeping it all nice and chill, nice and relaxed. Not putting yourself under too much pressure to get more flexible. And just relax your hands. Don't know what I was saying then. Let your legs come in. Just relax them out a little. Bring your feet underneath your bum. And just sit onto your ankles. That'll just about do us. See, don't you feel so much more like going to bed now, Marianne?
Yeah, it's very, very nice feeling. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm glad I convinced you to stay.
Yeah. Yeah, they were very good for everything, especially for now for sleep. Yeah, it feels good. Yeah, thank you.
Marianne's been coming to my workshop since I was about 17 or 18, something like that, when we first moved to Wales. She's in Holland.
Okay.
And now it's a circle round, but because I come to Nieuwegein.
Yeah.
Yeah, I come again.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Nice, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, thank you all very much for joining me for that lovely session. Practice your San Sau. Again, if you've got any questions of that stuff we're doing, mark them down so we can ask those questions at the beginning of next week's class. And yeah, might see you tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, so 6 a.m., 12 p.m., 6 p.m., all 3 classes tomorrow. Just general, all of those are just general classes, don't know what I'll be doing. And then Thursday morning. Oh, Thursday morning is a general class, but Bagua form instead of Taiji form. So it's still a bit of this, bit of that, don't know what I'm doing, but instead of taking a posture from the Taiji form or flowing through the Taiji form, it'll be Bagua on that Thursday morning. And then, of course, Thursday evening is our Yang Lu Chan session. Thank you all so much for joining, and I shall see you when I see you next. I'll see you tomorrow morning, shall I, Anna?
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.